Hey everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie Bay Crochet. Welcome to Friday Fun Live, where we just have a social time, hang out, see how everybody's doing. I have a couple of things I can show you today. It's been a very interesting week. We have spent the last, I guess, since Monday, Tuesday, waiting for the remnants of Hurricane Debbie to kind of pass through the area and clear. Thankfully, it's been a pretty weak storm. I'm not trying to minimize it or anything like that, but having been in this same house over the years through several real hurricanes that were designated hurricanes, not just the remnants, just a tropical storm. Um, we've seen some things. So we're really thankful that this was a fairly weak storm. Thank you all, for those of you who we're asking for our concern and praying for us. Thank you very much. I think you all prayed the storm apart, and it's along the eastern seaboard. Actually, it's affecting my home up in Maryland right now. So those of you who are north of me, be on the lookout for tornado warnings and watches and so forth. Yeah, it's been a very rainy week for us here, and so the ground is pretty saturated. So now we're just kind of being careful about flooding, and that will probably go on for the next week, because it's usually the week afterwards when the water kind of comes down after the river's crest and everything. That's when we've seen some problems. So hopefully everything will be okay. But thank you all for caring for us and everything. Let me go ahead and jump right in to the chat. I've got some fun announcements to make, but let me go ahead and just greet as many as I can here. Angie, good morning to you, and Linda, Brad's mom. Thank you so much for being here. And she says, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button if you can. And she's joining us from a sunny and warm Southwest Chicago suburbs. Excellent. I'm looking forward to getting back to the sunny part down here in the South. And we have ZZ's Fiberworks says, hello, good morning from a very smoky Northern California. Oh, so sorry. I wish we could ship you some of this water, ZZ Fiberworks, because we've got a lot of it here. She says, I don't ever catch the live because I work on Fridays, but I'm home with COVID. So a blessing in disguise. Oh, what a bummer. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. I hope it's just a mild strain and you're back on your feet soon. But do get your rest. You know how this COVID can be, or at least my experience with it is it kind of kicks us in the behind and makes us tired. So to get your rest, don't feel guilty about sitting on a couch or your favorite chair with your crochet hook in hand, and enjoy every moment that you can. And Love to Craft waving right back at you. And Wanda Gordon, she says, praying all are well. The rain has stopped here. Yeah, Wanda's just north of us here. So I'm hoping you are okay and starting to dry out a little bit, Wanda, and everybody on the East Coast here. And also our Florida friends as well. I know they got the brunt of the storm. And for those of you who don't know much about hurricanes and the categories, they're all dangerous. As you know, even just a quick thunderstorm, as we've experienced, can bring excitement into your life. We had lightning strike the house and it blew up our chimney. That was back in April, I believe, with some of those spring showers. So you never know. But that said, the Hurricane Debbie was just a Category 1, which is really not a strong storm. I was talking with a friend of mine who's also a Floridian, and she's actually my daughter-in-law, and she was talking about how when it's just a Category 1, she said they just would go outside and do things as normal. Almost some places I don't recommend it. But anyway, all that to say that it's very different from a Category 3 or 4 or 5. And I've in my history, my short history, having grown up in Florida and having many relatives there, I remember walking 6-7 months after Hurricane Andrew, back in the 90s when that hit. That was early 90s, actually. It was 92 when it hit Homestead, Florida, where my cousin lived, and I remember him giving us a tour, and it was it was like a battleground. So that's why I not trying to minimize the category ones, but I'm just saying where you have in category ones, you might have, uh, you get people injured here and there, but it's isolated situations usually caused by tornadoes. Category five, everything gets leveled. So there's quite a difference, and I've seen what category fours and fives can do, unfortunately up close. And but anyway, all that to say, not trying to minimize. I don't want anyone to dig me in. I'm not trying to minimize the severity of what we just had come through here, but this is just the warm up for the hurricane season. Honestly, this is just the beginning. So, anyway, and I'm so glad that we can trust in the Lord through all of this. Okay, I'm not a okay. I'm done with my weather prognosticating. Okay, uh, not my expertise, I promise. But anyway, all right, Kelly. So good to have you in our chat today. And I must have missed something because see, JJ Fiberworks says praying for your boyfriend, uh, Kelly. Did I miss something here? Well, it hasn't appeared in my comments yet. I'm looking at the live chat, so sometimes these things get a little jumbled. All right, so Kelly says she's crocheting a pumpkin beanie with the curly cues and a stem and a face on it. How cool. She said, I'll be popping on and off. Well, I hope you're doing well, Kelly. And JG Fiberworks says, I just finished crocheting a new bag for myself. Excellent. Um, and Denise says, may I please ask for prayers for my son, David, who is 97. I'm sorry. Let me read that again. Sorry. Uh, may I please ask for prayers for my son, David, who is 47. Okay, it's not a 9, it's a 4. He is having spinal surgery on August 16th for a bulging disc, C3 and C4, which is pretty high up. That's pretty serious. Prayers also for the surgeon and no complications. I will certainly pray. Denise, I've actually added him already to my list. I've got a mark of grace on my neck here for having a similar surgery, although mine was yeah, it was more than a bulging disc, but it was lower. It was C6 and C7. So, which is uh, all of it is critical, but C3, C4, I know the higher you go, the more that is affected. So, I will definitely be praying for him, Denise, that he comes through this fine. Um, and it's great that we have the medicine that we do these days. And thank you, ZZ Fiberworks, for praying for your son, for Denise's son. And hey, Wanda Gordon, thank you for praying too. And Denise says, I finished my grandson's cardigan. He loves it, nice and warm for the cold weather in Nova Scotia, where he goes to university. Excellent. And thank you all just for praying for each other. That means so much. And Joni, thank you too. Um, and ZZ's Fiberwork says to Denise, my mother needs back surgery but refuses to do it. Yeah, I understand both sides of that. That was my dad for many years, ZZ Fiberworks. So I understand what you're dealing with there. Excuse me. And Judy says, what a wonderful way to look forward to Fridays with Bonnie. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Judy. This is so much fun for me. It's kind of my explore into the outer world here, no matter where I am. All right. We just got a bunch of things load at the same time, of course. All right, here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. And Kathy G says hello. Um, yeah, yeah. Denise, again, more conversation about the surgery coming up. Yeah. Um, and Denise says, yeah, back surgery can be very scary. So I understand about your mom. Yeah, it can be. It can be. Um, but I remember in my personal experience, I won't bore you with the whole story, but when it got to the point where I could get surgery, I was just like, okay, can we do this like in a couple hours? Like, and my surgeon was able to schedule me for like a day out, which was fantastic because it was the first time, and after the surgery was the first time in about months that I could actually sleep. Yeah, it was the pain can be quite interesting. So just I'm just very, very much aware of God's grace on my life because of that surgery being successful. Um, and I will pray, Denise, that your son will experience that too, just success. And I just pray that he wakes up in the operating room after it's all done, as I experienced, without pain and being able to move everything. That's my prayer for him. Um, and ZZ Fiberworks. I can only imagine having to face that kind of surgery. I would be beyond frightened myself. Yeah, but sometimes the pain pushes you to the point where you'll do whatever you need to do. And I remember that, and it was a very humbling time. And Wendy from the yarn shop. Hey, Wendy in Hagerstown, Maryland. I hope you're staying safe. I noticed the weather that we've been having is all up in your region now. So take care, my friend. And Diane says, hello, Bonnie from New Jersey. I'm glad you can make it, Diane. And Patrice, good afternoon. Um, I go ahead and move this over. I need to get Hannah's messages up here. I forgot to open that up. All right, so here we go. Hannah has found another prayer request. This is a busy day. Wow. From Kim W. Says, please pray for my father-in-law, Arnold P. He has been diagnosed with lung cancer, but has beaten cancer twice already. Um, yes, I'll review Hannah's comments. Once I get done, we'll definitely add him to my list. And keep us posted on that, Kim, so that we know, how things are going with you. Um, all right. There we go. Let's make sure everything is here. Um, and let's see. We have Jo Joni says to Denise, my husband also has bulging discs, same area as your son, but he lives with pain every day. He's now getting over another strain, so much agony. Yeah, it's rough. Um, and Karen's waving to us from Gastonia, North Carolina. I hope you're drying out up there, Karen. um, at one point I thought I was going to have to get a boat. I was joking with my mother-in-law because we have our tandem kayak stored in her barn. I says, well, if all else, if it comes to it, we need to go to the grocery store. We always have our kayak. We can kayak there to get the bread we need. But thankfully, we haven't had to do that. The rain or the flood waters have not been as bad as they were a couple years ago. At least not yet. All right. We have Margita. Hello to you. And JJ Fiberworks says, ZZ Fiberworks says, we sure could use rain out here on the West Coast. We could use some sunshine on the East Coast. So maybe, well, thank you so much, DC. Yes. Feeling much, much, much better. Not clearing my throat and coughing nearly as much. I'm not living off of cough drops anymore. So I'm thankful for that. And we have Pam. She says, first live and from Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome, Pam. So glad you could join us. I'm just down south of you for another week or so before I go back home to Maryland. So here along the coast, along the soggy coast of South Carolina, not far from where the remnants of that storm came ashore. But again, it was not really that bad. Not as bad as all the people on the news wanted you to believe. But anyway, they managed to find pockets of problems no matter where they go, but it really was not that bad. Um, and Tiffany says hello all the way from Texarkana, Texas, if I said that right. Welcome, Tiffany. Um, I've enjoyed going to Texas a few times that I've been there. Actually, twice that were really good stays. Another time was just on my way to Mexico for a mission trip. But yeah, really have enjoyed visiting with folks in Texas. And Denise says hi to Hannah. We have Carol says, thankful to hear you all are safe, Bonnie. Hello, Hannah, Bonnie, and all Carol Beth in Oregon. Hey, Carol Beth. I hope you guys are doing okay. Again, with all those fires and everything out in the West. I don't know how much Oregon's impacted, but that whole region out there, I know it can be tough this time of year. And DL Crisp says, good morning from a very dry and smoky Southern Oregon. Okay, happy to be watching. So glad you could be here with us. And Cynthia Burke, hello to you. And Love DIY joins us from Lincoln, California. It says, may the Lord bless and bring peace profound to all. Thank you. That's a great prayer. That is a very, very good prayer. Well, let me go ahead and tell you all what is coming Monday. I had the joy of interviewing another crochet designer who also specializes in cabling, which is a little bit different than what I do, but similar. So if you work the designs well, let me go ahead and just tell you, the designer is Noelle Stiles. She's the designer at Rebecca's Stylings. That's the name of her site on the various online places. And I have an interview that I'm going to be sharing so you can get to know Noelle. She's a delightful young lady, very smart woman. And the interview also, I want you to listen to the interview. I think it is very interesting because she's a very interesting woman. And it's also going to be including a book giveaway. So where did I put the book? Okay, here we go. So here is her book. It's called Colorful Crochet Cables. And she has, beautiful, beautiful designs. But one thing that's really neat about this book, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want you to watch the interview to learn about it. But she's also a scientist and specializes in researching the eye and the way color is perceived. And, she studies the brain. Excuse me again. She's a brain scientist. I'll let you listen to the video of all the specifics, but specifically she is learning and studying how the eye works and in order to help people who are blind, to try to help them to regain their sight and just to understand all the interworkings, which is quite a miraculous thing, if you ask me. But anyway, her book talks quite a bit about the way the eye perceives color. So, and she talks a lot about adding color to cables and what works and what doesn't work. And there's all kinds of interesting things in here. So I have 2 books that I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to have a drawing connected to the interview. So I want you to watch the interview and then you can look in the video description as to how you enter for the book giveaway. I'm doing it a little bit differently than I have ever done before. I'm asking something of you this time. I don't ask anything of anybody to enter for a free giveaway. But talking with Noelle, she's like, it's okay to ask people to join you on social media. So this is what you're going to need to do. It's just a simple 3-step thing once the video comes out on Monday. Now, if you are a watch subscriber, you already have the video, and I've gotten a lot of really positive comments from viewers. And so if you're a watch subscriber, you can go ahead and watch and you can enter already. The only 3 things that I'm asking you to do is comment on the video below, whether that be on YouTube or on the watch channel. So if you comment on the watch channel, that counts as part of the 3 things that I want you to do. After you do that, I would love for you to subscribe to my newsletter. And I will be checking to see who's subscribed. So I'm not going to be giving a book away to someone who hasn't subscribed to the newsletter. I will check the video comment, need to subscribe to the newsletter. And I'm asking you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're a non-watch subscriber. So 3 things to enter: comment on the video once it comes on Monday, subscribe to my newsletter, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You just have to hit a subscribe button. All those things that I'm asking you to do are totally free. And here's the kicker. If you don't like being subscribed to any of these things, you can undo it afterwards. Okay. So I mean, and most people will. They'll subscribe to something and then they'll go bye-bye if they don't get something for free. But I know a lot of you guys are not like that. But I am asking those three things. So if that's a problem, I'm sorry, but I'm upping the stakes just a little bit for this one. And so anyway, look for that on Monday. That'll be my new release. Another thing I wanted to let you know is I'm starting to post regularly. I generally have been posting for years on Facebook, and then I've added Instagram onto that. And a lot of times, if I add links to these, they don't show up automatically in your feed, even if you're subscribed on those platforms. It's kind of controlled by Facebook. So I've decided to start regularly posting on X, which used to be called Twitter, because that platform now is pretty much free. They're not controlling what feed you get in the same way that Facebook and Instagram are. So I just decided, if you all are not fans of Facebook and Instagram, I understand. Okay, I get it. But I am there for my business, and I am there because I have a lot of friends from the past who are also there, and that's my main motivation. But if you're not fans of that kind of social media, but you're looking for something that's free and not as controlled, x.com is, I think, the way to go. So I'm just to let you know, I am posting there regularly. And I understand that that's not the same, and you do have to be careful, just like on any media platform. Which brings me to one other thing. In recent weeks on Facebook and Instagram, I haven't been hacked so much, but there have been people stalking my followers. So just be aware of that. If you get any bizarre, another reason why I just get a little n- little unhappy, I'll just say, with some of these platforms, is you try to ban the people that are causing the problems, and it's really hard to just get them off. I do block, 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 but of course, they pop up again. So just a little gentle warning: be careful on social media, and if you get something from me that looks really weird and uncharacteristic, um, know that it's probably not from me. And if anybody ever posts on there requesting you to contact them, please ignore that unless you know the person and it's a friend. That's the one thing that people like to do, is to make this really nice, oh, I really like your profile and we should be friends and blah, 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 blah. And what they do is they repost that on almost all the post to all the different people, and I have to go in and clean that up, and it's kind of a pain. Please don't respond to stuff like that, and just know that unless you've contacted me through Messenger, I will not reach out to you through Messenger on Facebook. That's one reason why when I do certain things and I get people's information to send out books, I ask you to email me, so that we know that we're really talking to a real person and not a bot or a spammer or a scammer. Okay. Um, okay, so Hannah's asking me to repeat Noel's last name. I'll let you look at it. Noel Styles. Okay. And the book, Colorful Crochet Cables. Okay, I got off on a little rant there about social media. So anyway, and just even commenting about going to x.com, that's not a perfect solution to anything either. But it's not as, I haven't had problems there, but with that, you do need to be careful. There are all sorts of things, opinions in there, so you do need to be careful no matter what you do on these social media sites. Um, yeah, and Love DIY says Instagram doesn't come up with the link provided. Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. So that's why, sometimes email. And that's one reason why I absolutely love YouTube. It's very organic. YouTube has allowed me to grow naturally. And by the grace of God, it has grown quite well over the years. Facebook, not so much. Facebook is not even a tenth of what I have here as far as an audience. And I have been doing Facebook longer than YouTube, so go figure. They really suppress some things. So um, anyway, that's probably why I don't spend a ton of time on those platforms. I love interacting with you all, but sometimes just dealing with the bots and this spam and the scam is not a lot of fun. Anyway, I just want you all to be careful out there. All right. And how can people subscribe to the newsletter? Great question, Hannah. There is a link in my video description below. You just go to my website, which is bonniebay.com or bonniebaycrochet.com. Both of those will get you there. All that information will be in the video description once the video releases. Okay. So all of that will be in the video description, as well as all of Noelle's information. All of her social media contact will be in the video description. So just know that. Yeah, so let me get back to some of the comments here. I'm getting way behind. We have Lucille from Ottawa. She says it's raining in Ottawa. Says I love your work. Thank you so much. Yeah, Lucille, I've looked at the radar and I can tell it's just reaching the entire North North American continent on the East Coast right now. So that's quite a lot of rain from that storm, even though, like I said, it wasn't real powerful. But anyway, um, we have Beach Girl in our chat. Hey, Beach Girl. And thank you, Denise, for your prayers. Yeah, that's always helpful. And we have June says, hi, it's a lovely day here in Anfield, Liverpool. Wow, all the way from England. That is so cool. And thank you, love. DIY just saying a special hi to Hannah too. Yes, Hannah, thank you for taking care of us. Hannah is even serving us while she is on her little bit of a break um, from school and from South Carolina, helping with the grandbabies or with her nephews. So I know she's loving that. I know they're loving having Aunt Hannah around. So thank you, Hannah, for taking a break from all of that there. I know you're busy. And we have Julie from Kentucky. Hey, Julie. Um, and yeah, let's see who else we got. Um, Sorry, guys, I just had a bunch of comments load again. Oh, goodness. I am so slow today. What's new, right? We have Anna Marie. Welcome, welcome. And Barbara, our friend from Alaska in our chat, and Jackie, hey there. And Sabina says, good evening, Bonnie and Hannah. I'm crocheting together a rainbow stars blanket for a baby boy due in October. Looking good. Excellent. I'd love to see that when you're done. And Kim W. from Texas. Oh, well, Breast Mom says to Denise, prayers for your son. I had, I guess, spine surgery in January 1990, and I'm doing great, even at 71 years old. We'll pray that he is blessed. Yeah, mine was over 20 years ago. It was right after I had turned 40. And yeah, I thought my life was over. I really did, especially the use of my hands. So was just, and everything I do is with my hands, whether it's, with a musical instrument or a crochet hook, it's all based on this. So I just couldn't imagine what I would do without that. So I'm just so thankful that these continue to work. They go numb sometimes, but they continue to work. So yeah, I'm so glad to hear that, Linda, that yours was also very successful. And we've got Kim's prayer request down. Thank you for letting us know about your father-in-law. And Diane, hey, welcome to the chat. And Barbara says her hubby finally had surgery and it turned out fantastic. Yes. Yeah, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing. And we have Felicia. It says, good afternoon, sis, Bonnie, and everyone. Well, good afternoon to you, Felicia. So glad you could be here. Um, oh, thank you. ZZ Fiberworks wants to know where you can purchase my Winning at the Fair book. It's on Amazon. So if you just go to Amazon, .com and look up, just type in Bonnie Barker crochet books and it should pop up there. I also have an author's page. I think there is a link in the video description for the Amazon page. So all the books that I've ever done, I believe all of them are there on Amazon to some degree. Um, Not sure if all the leisure arts books are there, but the ones that I've self-published, the ones I've done with Penguin Random House, and most of the leisure arts that are still in print are there, I believe. And oh, a note about the books, because somebody was asking me when I was going to have my books that I sell from my Etsy site. And oh, thank you for the thumbs up. I'm getting this little, okay, I see what's happening here. It's mimicking me. That's crazy. Anyway, I will be adding the books back in once September rolls around. I am going to be here for another week and a half, and then I'm going to be traveling back home, and then I'm heading to. Every time I move my hand, the computer thinks I'm doing this. Anyway, I am going to be going to the Pittsburgh Festival. So let me tell you about that. The Pittsburgh Knit and Crochet Festival. They also have quilting and other things there. Um, Registration is still open, but it's closing after August 16th. So August 16th is the last day of online registration. What happens after that is if there are spaces in the classes, you can register in person by just going to the conference, but you're taking a chance that there'll be a seat left for you. So I would encourage you, if you're going to go to Pittsburgh to this, it's actually in Green Tree, Pennsylvania, which is just outside the city. So parking is easy, getting around is easy. You don't have to worry about parking like smack downtown at all. Although it's a beautiful town, if you've never seen it, it's really fun to go up and take a look at it. It's a beautiful river town, river city. I'm going to be teaching classes on Friday, August 22nd. I'll be teaching in the morning Intro to Crocheting Post Cables, and then the afternoon Crocheting Beautiful Trims and Borders. Saturday's a big day, a fun day. If you can be there on Saturday, please try to be there on Saturday. Saturday morning is 4 ways to crochet the traditional granny square. And then on Saturday afternoon, 3 ways to crochet braided cables. Those are my 4 classes. There will be many other teachers, many other classes you can sign up for. Friday at lunchtime in the marketplace, Jennifer Ryan of Celtic Knot Crochet and I are going to be doing a music program. Okay, this is not your highbrow music. Okay, this is just totally for fun. Okay, 2 amateur musicians. So I always like to bring the bar down to the expectation level is not pie in the sky, musically speaking. But I'm going to bring my guitar, amp, mic, and we're going to have some fun for about 30 minutes in the marketplace, singing crochet parody songs. I mean, in the lineup, we've got songs from, let's see, the Monkees. Of course, the words are going to be different. The Monkees, we've got the Beatles. I've got an Eric Clapton song, uh, Neil Sedaka. I'm giving some of the songs that I've done away. A Christmas song that you might know to the tune of Feliz Navidad, but we're singing No, It's Not Knit. So I'm going to have some that you're going to know and some not so much. I'm going to be doing the Tom Petty song. So so bring your friends and come to the market. Even if you don't have the money or resources to stay for the weekend and you just want to come for a day, come Saturday if you can. It's going to be a huge yarn market. Please come expecting to shop if you can afford to. You're going to be able to meet the people who dye the yarn and just direct with them, no middleman, and be able to see beautiful things that you've never seen before if you've never been to one of these yarn markets. So I think you'll love it. Probably will be overwhelmed, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're there around for the music program, we would love to have some participation. There might be some giveaways. Can't promise a whole lot, but there might be some giveaways during the show. So please try to attend if you can. Let's see. Let me get back. Well, okay, one more. Let me show you something crochet because I haven't showed you anything crocheted yet. Coming soon, probably at the end of August, is the bacon scarf. I've shown this to you before. It's kind of hard to see the texture in this light, but you can see it's got the basket weave along the side. It is an asymmetrical scarf, which you can wear as a scarf or wrap around as a shawl. It's really up to you. Um, Hannah helped me name this because I was looking at it and I'm like, gee, what can I name this? And she said, well, it kind of looks like bacon to me. So one side of it does look like strips of bacon with the basket weave, especially in this color. And the rest of this is just simply just a simple texture of the wattle stitch. And this is using 2 hanks of a sock weight or a fingering weight merino wool yarn. So anyway, the bacon scarf coming at the end of the month. All right. Oh wow, Archer Ace is in the chat. I'm getting this from Hannah, and she says that her power is still out from Tuesday's storm. So pray for restoration. Okay, we certainly will. We certainly will do that, Terry. Yeah, we woke up Tuesday morning without power as well. Or I was actually getting out of the shower and then everything went out. That was probably the worst of that we had here. So we were without power a half an hour or so, and then it came back on, thankfully. Um, but we will definitely pray for you. Wow, that's awful. That's a long time without power. And I also have a question. Where is the yarn market? The yarn market is in the hotel where the conference will be. So the information's in the video description below. So it's kind of a all self-contained thing. You stay at the hotel, you take classes and rooms at the hotel and the conference rooms downstairs, and then the yarn market is also downstairs in the hotel. So even if the weather is not so good, if it's too hot or too wet or too whatever, you don't have to go anywhere. Everything is right there, self-contained. I love it when it's like that because I don't have to, commute back and forth. So yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for sending that in, Hannah. All right. And let me keep on going into the chat here. We have Cecilia. Thank you for being here today. And thank you again, Denise, for the thumbs up about the reminder about the thumbs up. And Sandra, good morning to you. And Cynthia Dalton says, I'm late, but I'm here. Happy Friday, everyone. Well, I'm late getting to your comments, Cynthia, so we're good. and is it Lila? It's good to see you waving there. And Felicia, you too. And all right, I'm going to skip some conversation there. And Kathy from Noonan, Georgia. Hey, Kathy. Welcome. Wow. And I know exactly where Noonan is. Been there many times. And Diane says, sunny and beautiful here in Southwest Florida where Debbie started. So hang on. This too shall pass. Yep. And if you're down there in Southwest Florida, as Diane knows, I've already mentioned, but this is just the beginning of hurricane season. I mean, and if you've been in Florida more than 4 or 5 years, you're a veteran with these storms. And you know what I'm talking about. I grew up in South Florida and and spent many summers over the past 5 years now, 5 or 6 years, visiting with my mother-in-law. And even before then, whenever a severe hurricane was coming to our area, some of my husband and a couple of the boys would usually come down to be with her just in the event that they needed help. In the past, I think it was Fran many years ago. It was, I'll just tell a quick story. It was not a very strong storm, but it was a very, very wet storm that loosened a lot of the roots in the trees. They used to have a lot of trees around the house, and they had severe damage. I mean, trees falling on the house and on the barn and crushing things. So yeah. Um, yeah, we know hurricanes. Ah, yeah. Sandra says, "Love the interview with Noelle. Lovely crocheted items she has made." Yes, yes. Thank you, Sandra, for putting a plug in. So Sandra is saying, yes, watch the video. If you're on watch already, if you're a watch subscriber, you can watch it right now. You can watch the interview with Noelle. And if you're not a watch subscriber, you can look in the video description. There's a link. You can become a watch subscriber. Why should you become a watch subscriber? Well, because when you are a watch subscriber, you can watch everything, no commercials. I don't have any commercials. I don't have any kind of commercial, anything attached to that channel. People have asked me to monetize it many times, and I could make money doing that, but I said no. I prefer not to. I want it to be a spam-free environment for people who prefer that. And you can get PDF downloads of the new designs that I release, and then I put in my Lovecraft store, where you don't have to buy them from the Lovecraft store or Etsy or anywhere. You can download them complimentary when you're a member, and you get to participate in Zoom classes. This is at no extra cost. And these are classes that, if you take my classes at national conferences, would cost you significantly. Okay. I know it's not the same. We're not in the same room together, although it is on Zoom and we're responding. It's close. So I just really wanted my subscribers to know how much I appreciate them. Um, and it is, just to let you know, it's currently, this is always subject to change. But what I like to do is, when you enter at a certain price, you can stay at that price as long as you're a member of the channel. It's currently $7.95 a month, or $79.50 a year. Um, Hopefully we won't have to raise the price, but but there's always a chance that that could happen. And again, if you are already a subscriber, your price will not change. That's something that I insisted upon. Um, but this coming Tuesday, August 13th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, Eastern time, that's important. It's a shift. We usually teach 2 to 4 Eastern time. This time we're teaching 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. We have a new Zoom class available. Many of you have signed up for it. There are a few seats left. So if you're a watch subscriber, or if you become a watch subscriber between now and then, you're eligible to sign up for that. It's called Introduction to Tunisian Crochet, with my friend and my crochet teacher, designer, and author friend, Brenda Berg. Um, and again, this is an introduction to Tunisian. It's not Fair Isle, but it's an introduction to Tunisian crochet. That will be available. All you need to do is email me, bonniebay@me.com. Send me an email, say sign me up. And then what I do is I verify that you are a watch subscriber. And then a couple days or a day or so before the class, I send everybody the private Zoom link, and we have our class. And to answer the question that I get asked, will you be recording this? Yes, I am going to be recording this, and I'll be uploading that to the watch channel, so that if you wanted to watch the class later, either because you missed it or weren't able to join us, or if you just want to review what we covered in the class. I know people have found that very helpful. They take the class and maybe just need a little more help with that, or just a little more time to absorb the information. They can go back onto the watch channel and rewatch the entire class, and get a better understanding. So that is coming Tuesday. So those of you who still haven't signed up and want to do that, um, you've only got a couple more days, and then I'll be sending out that link on Monday. All right. Um, I think I got through most of my newsy items. Let me go ahead and focus here. Oh, I do have one more thing to show you. Let me just keep on scrolling down in case I miss anybody. And Love DIY says, I highly recommend this interview. Very interesting. Yes, I think you're really going to like Noelle. and I think you're gonna like her. I think you're gonna like her designs too, since especially if you like cables. This is just more give you another variety of even different types of cabling. So you're gonna really enjoy that. And Sunshine C says, "Hi, nice people from Tokyo, Japan. Oh, Ohio gozaimasu. It's good to see you. So glad you could join us, Sunshine. I wish I could speak more Japanese. I just can't remember. I did study it for about a year, but that was about 33 years ago. So I lost a lot of it. But I am so glad that you're here. I so want to visit your country. I have so many friends in Japan who used to be my neighbors in Rockville, Maryland. They used to, a lot of scientists would come for a year to study at NIH, National Institutes of Health, and they were my really close neighbors in the apartment. And just we used to go out to eat together. We just had a ball learning about each other's culture. And Monique, I'm so glad that you're here. Um, and and oh, thank you. Barbara says I love her work. I guess she's talking about Noelle. Yeah, excellent. And yeah, and Lynn, so good to see you in the chat. Blessings to you, Sister Bonnie, and everyone in the chat. I'm so happy to be here. Please keep me in your prayers. I was praying for you this morning, Lynn, you and your sister and the family. I'm still praying for resolution to the, you know what I'm talking about. I'm still praying that justice is going to be served on earth. I know it's going to be all taken care of in heaven, but I pray that it will be resolved on this side of heaven before then. So yeah, so good to see you, Lynn. Can't wait to meet you in person, sister. Um, and let's see. We have Deborah says, "Hello, everyone. I'm in your time zone today, Bonnie. Headed to the Blue Ridge Parkway near Greensboro." Excellent, Deborah. I hope the weather treats you well, and just be careful with water on the roadways and so forth. But I'm not sure if the storms went as far west as Greensboro. Hopefully not. But anyway, um, all right. Oh, you're so sweet, Lynn, encouraging Hannah like that. Um, and let's see. And Denise said that she tried a while ago subscribing to the newsletter and couldn't. Well, if you are having trouble subscribing to the newsletter, just email me, bonniebay@me.com, and I can sign you up. I don't do that automatically as long as I have your permission. I just don't add any name to that list that I don't have permission to add. So if you give me your permission, I could do that if you're still needing help. It might have been just a computer glitch, back then. So maybe give it another try. Last I checked, it was all updated and working fine. All righty. Well, I do have one more thing to show you, and then I can finish out the chat. I am working on the video tutorial to the Beanie Binne sweater. It's an asymmetrical sweater. It's an asymmetrical cardigan, so it doesn't open down the middle, but it opens actually on the side. So it's nice that you can add like a little pin, like is shown in the picture. Let me see if there's a better. Let me see if there's a better picture of this. Okay, here's the back. And it does have a nice little ruffle around the bottom, which I think can be flattering on just about any figure. Is there another picture? This is just my copy that I made from my book. Here's a better picture of this sweater. Okay. So I am working on it. I got I wanted to show you a little bit of it. I'm really excited about how it's coming out. I'm using a substitute yarn, and let me show you what I'm using. Okay. The original yarn was actually spun and made in Virginia with Virginia sheep and everything, and cotton, but it's no longer available. But this is the yarn that I'm using, Barocco Vintage DK. And here we go. Let me read a little bit about what it includes. This is 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon. Each of the hanks has 290 yards. Okay, again, this is a DK weight. And one thing I love about this yarn, I love just about everything about it. I love the fact that it's affordable for one thing. It is more expensive than just acrylic yarn, of course, but it's a quality yarn. It's an easy care yarn. And I'm just loving the color. It has a wide palette. I think I already said that. Um, but this is the right front that I finished, and I just love the little the ruffle, and it feels really really nice. Of course, I'm not nearly done with it, but I did want to show you the sleeve. I'd forgotten just how much fun it was to work on a sleeve. So I am working on the sleeve, which has a cable down. See, this is the part where the arm just would go right here. And so anyway, so I am, wait a minute, it's this way. It's this way. There we go. So it goes like this. So it'll be up the sleeve with the cable. And as soon as I get this done, I'm hoping to make this a September release. Um, don't know if it'll happen. It may end up being bumped to October, but I am working on this, and this is in my book that I don't have to show you right now. But the Celtic Cable Crochet book, which came out in 2016, so it's an older book. Um, and it came out at a time when YouTube was just not a thing, not like it is today. So I'm just going back and just adding tutorials here and there, and just really hoping that you enjoy them. Um, this is the one that people have asked me about again and again. It is an intermediate level, but like all things, I tell people, give it a try. Mistakes are allowed. That's how we learn the best. That's how I learned to make sweaters, by making many mistakes on one. I know they can be a little bit expensive if you're using fancy yarn, but if you don't have to use what I use, you can use acrylics if you like to do that, or you can even go fancier, as long as you're using a DK weight that's similar, and as long as the gauge works out for you. Okay, and Hannah wants me to repeat the brand. Vintage, it's by Barocco. So if you go to barocco.com, Berroco, you're going to find vintage in many different sizes. You're going to find it in worsted weight. It's just called vintage. Vintage DK is obviously DK weight. They have vintage sport, and I believe they even have vintage fingering weight or vintage sock weight yarn, because I do have some of that to make a sweater in the future. So anyway, you're going to love the colors though. They have a color selection that's beyond amazing. And the color that I'm using is color number 21196. It's a green heather, and I'm just really really enjoying it. I can't wait. Can't wait to wear it this fall. So let me get back to the chat here. We have my crochet story, and as soon as I read the name, everything jumped. Hold on a second. I will go back and find it. What, am I really that far behind? Yes. Okay, here we go. My crochet story says, howdy, howdy, y'all, lurking in the bushes while crocheting because I can. LOL. Yes, that's fine. And Kim W said, I have to go to work. I pray that everyone has a great weekend. Thank you so much, Kim. All right. And thank you, Carol. Yes, it was so much fun doing that interview. And Cynthia says, X is a little too political for me these days. I totally get that, Cynthia. Yeah, you do have to kind of guard your heart, no matter where we are these days, but I totally get that. I just wanted to post my things there as well, because I know a lot of people have stayed off of the other platforms, And I understand that because I've had a lot of trouble on the other platforms with, like I said, the stalking of my my friends, and I don't like that. Um, all right. And yeah, thank you, Lynn, again for encouraging Hannah. Um, oh wow, Sunshine Sea says it's already Saturday here. That's right, you're Japan, so you're way ahead of us. Um, I don't remember say you're probably what 16? I'm guessing 16 hours or so ahead. I remember going to Australia, to Sydney, and it was wild because I was always a half a day ahead of my family back home. Thank you, Carol, for encouraging Hannah, telling her to enjoy her school break. Yes. Um, and Holy Hummer says, greetings from Southern California, waving right back at you, Holy Hummer. That's great. And Swati, so good to see you in the chat. Says, it's been a while for me. Hope y'all are doing LA. I'm currently recovering from my first time getting COVID. Oh, Swati, I'm sorry about that. Um, it's amazing you haven't gotten. I think you and my husband might be the only ones. My husband hasn't picked it up yet either, and he even has been working in the hospital situation at NIH for many years. So I hope you get the feeling better, but cut yourself a break. If you feel like it's a character flaw, it's probably exhaustion from COVID. That's that was the biggest thing I had with it. I didn't have anything that I could point to. No, this is getting towards the end of COVID, just feeling blah, but just totally unmotivated. Just take it from your body and rest if you can. Oh wow. So Sunshine Sea says it's about 2 a.m. in Japan. My goodness, are you working the third shift? Wow. You should be sleeping, my friend. Wow, that's amazing. But I guess it's the weekend, so why not, right? Oh my goodness. You younger folks staying up late. That's great. Ah, let's see. No, I just lost it. Hold on a second. I hit the wrong button and everything disappeared. Um, Thank you guys for praying for Swati. We need to get her better. Thank you for your comment there, Hannah. Um, and Swati says, thank you. I'm finally getting a bit better and grateful for that. It's been a tough week. I bet it has been. Holy Hummer says, I noticed the honeycomb stitch is showing up on the sweaters in department stores. Yeah, that's been a pretty much an old staple among Erin's styling for many years. So I've just tried to imitate that with the crochet stitches because I love it. I love it so much. Yes, it's quite common. Um, and Nadja, it's good to see you in the chat. It says hello. How are you? Look, I'm asking Hannah, and thanks for asking. I think she's doing well. Yeah, she says I'm doing okay. And again, Archer and Ace, we will pray that you get power back like today, like soon. Um, and okay, lovely color. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm just gonna kind of go through some, make sure I say hey to everybody. Najla says, I've been missing you ladies. I'm still moving out to a new place. Hope to join more often. Well, thank you. I hope you can too. I hope things are going well with the move. I know that can be very hard and very stressful in so many ways. Um, oh, thank you, Pam, about the scarf. It's a lot of fun to make. And Deanne says, this is my first time catching you live. Love all your cable work. Thank you so much, Deanne. That is so sweet of you. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to our channel. And yeah, we've got more coming in the fall. A lot of stuff gearing up um, for September, August. I mean, end of August, September, October. We're going to keep you busy. And Nessa says they lost power. Says I lost power yesterday twice, but luckily it came back. Yay! Um, excellent. Uh, oh, thank you, Najla. You're so nice on your comments back and forth with Hannah. All right. And Nessa says, I grew up in South Florida too, lived there most of my life and moved away in 2012. I lived through many major hurricanes and flooding, including Andrew, Wilma, Katrina, etc. Oh yeah. Wow. Nessa, you went through the brunt of it. I mean, those were some really, really, really bad storms. Um, that's why it kind of makes me a little I won't get into it, but I just get a little tired of the people on the news trying to make big things out of things that are really not that bad, because that just tells the other people that it kind of like the boy who cried wolf. It's like, if you're going to cry, disaster storm, save that for when we really get a bad one, because otherwise, if you say it early on these little storms, they're not going to believe you with the big ones. And then that's when people get into trouble. But you know what I'm talking about. um, Nessa, yeah, save the yelling and screaming with your microphones on news media for the truly serious situations, not trying to just get traffic, for your news broadcast. That's yeah. Anyway, well, let me go ahead. Let me see, what did I just do here? Okay, let me see if there's anybody else. Thank you guys, and is it Vima's Crochet? Um, She says, "Hi, Bonnie. How are you keeping up?" One day at a time. Well, it is 1 o'clock, so I wanted to go ahead and read something really, really, really encouraging to you. Um, this came across uh, in my interactions. My sister sent this to me last week, and it popped up again on X.com, and it's a post of my one of the pastors I really admire, who's online, from Minneapolis. His name is John Piper, and I've been able to meet this man in the past. Sat under his teaching several times, and really read many of his books. So really appreciate what he has to say, and this really affected me. It has really encouraged me, and I know that the majority of our audience is uh, are women, are ladies. And I know we have men in the audience. So those of you who are men, please be patient as I read this to try to encourage the ladies today. Although I think if you're a man, you could really be encouraged by this as well because of the truth in it. And the reason I say that is it's a comment that John Piper made, a kind of a commentary regarding the Proverbs 31 chapter. And if you're familiar, this is for Christian women, but anybody can understand and appreciate what is happening here. Um, that particular proverb chapter is all about um, what it means to be a godly woman. And I just so appreciate what John Piper has to say. So I wanted to just read, these are his words. I wanted to read this to you. A Christian woman does not put her hope in her husband or in getting one. A Christian woman does not put her hope in her looks. Let me read that again, because everything on media these days is all about how you look. And I love this. He says, a Christian woman does not put her hope in her looks. This manifests in this text. You remember my favorite verse in the Proverbs 31 woman chapter, verse 25. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. I love that verse. Everything that's coming at me, I'm laughing at you. That's a woman. She doesn't cringe. She doesn't run. She's not naive about what's coming. She knows what's coming. She laughs because holy women of old hoped in a sovereign God who promises to help women when she needs him. I just I just needed that, and I just love that encouraging word. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Stay safe if you can. Trust in the Lord when you can't. What else can I say? So anyway, I just love visiting with you guys. Have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you here next week. God bless. Bye bye.